friends, I am Nishant Srivastava. I am going to teach you a topic that is constitutional remedy. It is very significant part of Indian Constitution as it is termed as soul of Constitution even. Why it is known as soul of Constitution? What is the relevance of it? How it works in the terms of fundamental rights? How it gives the meaning to the fundamental rights? We'll discuss it in the slides. Now here we go with the slides. Yes, here we go. We are going to discuss a topic that is constitutional remedy. This constitutional remedy is very important article, very important fundamental rights. As we see, the significance of it can be understood that it is known as soul of Constitution. This soul of Constitution is stated by Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, who is known as framer of our Constitution. He said this is the soul of our Constitution. It clearly indicates the significance of this article. Here you have to take a minute difference. Be careful about the minute difference. That is, this is different from key of Constitution, because key of Constitution is preamble, whereas soul of Constitution is your constitutional remedy, that is article number 32. The questions in exclusively state PCS, the difference is most of the time they ask that what is key of Constitution. The key of Constitution is preamble, whereas soul of Constitution is constitutional remedy. It is under article number 32. Now, as you know, in any democratic country, the fundamental rights are a very important aspect. But if a person got all the fundamental rights, it is meaningless till there is no constitutional remedy. In easy words, I can say the fundamental right is meaningless without its implementation. So to implement the fundamental right, and the violation of fundamental right can restrict through this constitutional remedy. See, if a person say to me that to whom you give the most importance in articles, clearly without any hesitation I will say that is article number 32, as article number 32 guarantees the right to move Supreme Court by without any appropriate proceedings. Means if a person violates the right of any individual, he can dragged to Supreme Court without any appropriate proceedings. Means this article guarantees the right of an individual to be protected by the Supreme Court. You can say this fundamental right is guaranteed by the Supreme Court only with the article number 32. It is enforcement of fundamental right, which is mentioned under part number 3 of Indian Constitution. According to this, Supreme Court will issue writ for it. Writ for what? Writ to re-establish the fundamental right of any individual. See, the similar power is also conferred to the High Courts under article number 226. Means, such as 32 is given to Supreme Court, the High Court gets this power under article number 226. Means 32 and 226 are similar, but it is given to different courts. But there is also some minute difference between article number 32 and this is article number 226, that the High Court enjoys the power more than Supreme Court, because Supreme Court only issue the writ for fundamental right, whereas High Court can issue writ on fundamental right and other rights as well. Means regarding the area, the Supreme Court will issue it in case of fundamental rights, whereas High Court will issue it on the fundamental right and other rights as well. Means the High Court has more power on the matter of writs. Now the question arises, what is writ? We can say in easy words, writs are order, type of order issued by a court to re-establish fundamental right which is violated by any person. According to this article, Supreme Court can issue 5 types of writ. Means writs are of 5 types. First is habeas corpus, second is mandamus, third is prohibition, fourth is certiorari, and fifth one is quo warranto. Habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, quo warranto. The enforcement will be made through these 5 kinds of writ. It is also noted that this writ of Supreme Court can issue throughout the territory of India. Now, we are discussing it in details. What is habeas corpus? The literal meaning of habeas corpus is with the body. It is a Latin word which means the body, with the body. Basically, fundamental rights give you a right of personal liberty, and to ensure this personal liberty, this habeas corpus is used. As a person under Article 21, 22 enjoys the freedom. Under Article 22, a person cannot be detained unlawfully by any person, any enforcement agency, or any legislation. But if legislation or any institution violated it and arrest or detain a person unlawfully, then to release him or her, habeas corpus is used. Means habeas corpus ensures personal liberty. This writ is issued to legislation, executive and common people as well, because sometimes a common people can also violate the fundamental right of an individual and he or she can arrest or detain a person. Such as, if you borrow some rupee from anyone and you are not going to return him, then what he will do? He can detain you forcefully to make sure the Supreme Court will give habeas corpus. In this habeas corpus, the person who is detained bring in front of court with the body. Means the person has to come who is detained, and the detainer will forced to bring the person in with body. Again, this person who is detained can be released by the order of Supreme Court through this habeas corpus. I suppose you understood this habeas corpus because it ensures your personal liberty regarding fundamental rights given to fundamental rights. Second very important writ is mandamus. This is also a Latin word and it means we command or we order. This is the command, the order. See, you must heard about a word that is judicial activism. Judicial activism is what? Means judiciary made their role intensive, and sometimes it gives order to the legislation or executive or a government body. How it is possible? Because there is separation of power ensured. Then the mandamus is the appropriate answer of it. As see, If any government or government officials or institution is not working, they are not bothered about their duty, then who will pressurize them to do their duty? The Supreme Court. As you saw earlier, there was a major problem occurred in Delhi, that was the problem of environment. The environment and pollution of Delhi was deteriorated. Then Supreme Court ordered through this mandamus writ that to ensure the environment, protect the environment and reduce the pollution in Delhi. It is only with the possible with the writ mandamus. Sometimes you go to the court and say to not court, you go to the police station and say to lodge an FIR, but they refuse to do so. Then what will you do? You will go to the Supreme Court directly. Supreme Court will order through this mandamus to the authority, the concerned authority, to take appropriate action and lodge an FIR for your problem. That is only through this mandamus. Means as habeas corpus is related, it is related to the legislation and executive and a common person to ensure the personal liberty of a person, whereas mandamus can be used to the officials, government and authorities to ensure their duty. Now, the third writ is prohibition. The prohibition and certiorari, the two unique writs, are used for inferior courts. It is used to the lower courts. Both are issued to the lower courts. Whereas in prohibition, the lower court is restricted within their judicial boundary. See, each and every court has a judicial perimeter, judicial periphery. No court can go beyond that. But suppose a court is going or violate its judicial boundary, this prohibition will be used. For example, see, if a court of Delhi is saying that we are issuing a summon against a person who is driving a car without seat belt in Goa, the Delhi court is not supposed to interfere in the periphery of Goa, but they did. For that, to restrict them, this prohibition will be used. Means prohibition is restriction on the court. In easy words, it is stay order, popularly known as stay order, that you cannot violate or you cannot go beyond this particular boundary. Whereas certiorari is after the decision of court. See, if any court issued any order against a person which is not comes in their jurisdiction, then this certiorari will be used. Means prohibition is used before the judgment, whereas certiorari is after the judgment. That's why the quash is the word associated with this certiorari. Means certiorari is the quashing of order passed by any inferior courts or tribunal or quasi-judicial authority. As I told you earlier, this prohibition and this certiorari is issued to any quasi-judicial body, tribunal, inferior courts or a judicial body. The difference between this prohibition and certiorari is prohibition is available during the pendency of proceedings, as we discussed earlier. That is, during the proceedings, this prohibition is used, whereas certiorari is only to restore after the decision. Means after the decision, this certiorari will be used, while there will be the proceedings, that prohibition will be used. Obviously, these two writs are issued against legal bodies only. Now, quo warranto. It is also a very unique writ, very important writ. It is to check the authority, because a person who is working somewhere or in some organization have some authority to perform their duty. But if they are unable to do their duty, or they are unauthorizedly proceedings their duty, this quo warranto will be used. Such as, suppose a person got transferred from one place to another. So the post from where he got transferred, he is not supposed to work there. But if he is not relieving the post and still working, then his all work will be treated illegal. Then the court will issue quo warranto that by which authority you are working in this place. You are not supposed to work here because you are transferred from this post. That's why the quo warranto will be used. Also, suppose a government loses its majority and it comes under minority, then the government has to resign. And if the government is not resigning from their posts or position, then quo warranto will be issued to that particular government to vacate the seats. Also, in case of government quarters, it is very common practice. No one wants to vacate the government quarters, even they are retired, they are transferred, or they are disallotted with that. In that condition also, quo warranto will be used. Means quo warranto is used to establish a person authorized over there. Means it is prohibit a person to take any appropriate decision, appropriate proceedings in particular post without any authority. To ensure the work must done by an authorized person, this quo warranto is used. Dear students, hope you understood these 5 types of writ and its uses. If you need any explanation, if you have any doubt, then feel free to ask with me in comment sections. I'll surely give answer to you, and I'll be available for you. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this session. We'll be coming soon.